Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys Secret Base figure preview video. Before we begin, I want to say a massive thank you to Ryan Kirkwood for going out in person and snapping these gorgeous high-res pictures. Show Ryan some love in the comments below, because without him, this series literally wouldn't be possible. If you are looking to pre-order your very own copy of the Hono Studio / Hot Toys Symbiote Suit Spidey, I have popped a link to Pop Collectibles in the description below, along with the discount code Justin's Collection for 5% off your order if you do decide to buy from them. As always, do your own research, make sure you're comfortable before buying. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button, so you're notified as soon as a brand new Hot Toys or Hono Studio figure preview video goes live on the channel. Now, if you're sitting there thinking to yourself, what the hell is a Hono Studio? You're probably not alone in that, because they haven't made that many figures at the time of filming this video. They're essentially Hot Toys' cheapest sub-brand. Think Audi and Volkswagen or Lexus and Toyota. So they're more than happy to go up in price with their artisan figures, but making something cheaper and more affordable? Absolutely not. That will ruin our brand, they said, so let's make an all-new company called Hono Studio. But we'll still take pre-orders at Secret Base, and we'll still put the prototypes up at Secret Base as well. So yes, essentially this is a Hot Toys comic book version of Symbiote Suit Spidey. He does come with some hands, of course, and I love the array of gestures and how exaggerated they look. These are pure comic book Spidey hands with the fingers curling back the way they do. Most notably missing are the web-whipping hands, because this is comic book Black Suit Spidey. He shoots his webs out of the squares on the top of his hands using closed fists. He also comes with some interchangeable lens options. Some people have complained that they're a bit bulbous looking, and I totally agree with that. We'll discuss it in more detail when we get to the head sculpt. The display base is not my favorite Hot Toys base mold. It's very big, and the nameplate is very small. Plus, it has this flight pole thing in the middle, and the comic book window cover piece that's not even UV treated. So if you have a rare comic in there, for example, then it's not the same as getting it graded and sealed in one of those cases. Your comic book will get damaged, so maybe take a scan of it, then do a printout and pop that in the display base. It's a neat idea, in practice, not my vibe. Which might be a running theme throughout the course of this video, because on one hand, this is without a doubt the most posable Spidey that Hot Toys have ever made. He's wearing this all black spandex onesie. The only screen printing is the spider symbol, and yes, while that may peel at the edges over time if you put too much pressure on it whilst posing him, if you're careful, I reckon it's going to be perfectly fine. But the drawback with this is there's no shading on the surface of the suit, like the Secret Wars comic literally displayed behind him. You can see the blue shading to highlight his muscles. So it looks very 2D almost, and not in a good way. All of his muscle definition is completely hidden by the shiny black suit. And also, why did they go shiny for the spandex? Such a weird choice. I've seen the comments and people don't love this. They've been saying it looks like pajama suit Spidey. I reckon that's a bit harsh. Look, he ain't perfect, but come on, this is what we've been asking for, an all spandex suit Spidey. No crazy screen printing. The only thing that we have to watch out for is the vinyl / heat transfer white spider symbol. So we can pose the shit out of him, and we can leave him in those dynamic poses. Now, being Black Suit Spidey from the comics, this is what his web whipping looks like. The web is coming out of that white square on the top of the closed fists, just like I mentioned when we discussed the hands a little bit earlier. They've also finally figured out how to do bendy wire webs. I guess they've been seeing Patrick, aka Zord Photography, making his, and they said, no. We ain't about to let someone else step on our turf. We'll make some bendy wire webs. They look fine, but I've got a hunch that they're only bendy wire on the inside, and then they're coated in some kind of rubbery material. So they may crack over time if you bend them too much. Versus the custom ones that I've seen, they're fully made of wire, so yeah, you don't have that issue. Perhaps a little bit more homework is required with the bendy webs before we start seeing them with Hot Toys MCU Spidey figures or even the PS5 video game releases. I'm not complaining that we have them, I just think that they need a little bit longer in the oven. One thing that I can 100% tell you right now I'm never going to display him with is his web backpack. You see, Black Suit Spidey is a badass. I don't picture him wearing a web backpack that adds unnecessary bulk and busyness to the front and back of his outfit. It ruins that sleek look and it ain't for me. Interestingly enough, they've gone with a fabric covered head sculpt. The reason they did that is so that the sculpt perfectly matches the rest of the suit in terms of texture and color and sheen. If they'd have gone with plastic, it would have been a lot more challenging to get it to look as cohesive as it does. All of the drawbacks of going fabric, they're almost non-existent here because we don't have web lines that are usually misaligned, and the material is dark enough that the seams under the chin and on top of the head sculpt are completely hidden anyway. So I'm perfectly fine with them going with the same fabric for the head sculpt as the suit. Oh, and while we're on the subject of the head sculpt, do let me know which of the two sets of lenses you prefer. I'm partial to these ones, the larger McFarlane bug-eyed looking lenses. But there's also something to be said for the smaller, squinted, more Secret Wars inspired ones. Neither of the sets are exactly accurate to any one specific comic book look for Black Suit Spidey, but that's what these Hono Studio figures are all about. They're comic book inspired, not comic book accurate. That might bug some people. For me, I'm okay with it. Could this figure have been better though? Yeah, 100%. Just look at that image of Spidey in the background. Dude is swole, he's jacked, and the highlights look bloody beautiful. The funny thing is, they could have done the shading, and it wouldn't have compromised the vision of giving us a posable black suit Spidey. They should have gone with a bigger body, matte spandex instead of shiny to eliminate the pajama suit effect, and they could have used a smaller weave so that the texture wasn't as prominent. Then they could have done the lighter blue airbrush shading. Nothing crazy, just a subtle blue highlight to help the muscle groups pop a little bit more. Unfortunately, as it stands, while you can see the muscle definition a little, the fabric is so thick and the weave is so big and it's so shiny that the surface of the suit is very busy and it makes him look quite smooth and almost doughy, for lack of a better word. Am I still going to get this? Yes. Am I excited to get him? 100%. Because I'm sure as soon as I start to pose him, all of those complaints are going to melt away. Now, I'm getting mine from Pop Collectibles. As always, do your own research, make sure you are comfortable before buying. I have popped a link to their site in the description below, along with the discount code Justin's Collection, for 5% off your order if you do decide to buy from them. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button, so you're notified as soon as a brand new Hot Toys figure preview video goes live on the channel. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next video.